I bet on myself. Yeah, I bet on myself.
Yeah, I bet on myself. Yeah, I bet on myself. I don't need you, I do it myself. Yeah, I bet on myself. Yeah, I bet on myself.
Welcome to the dojo. This is Mission Viejo Natador's home pool. It doesn't get much better than this, one of the best outdoor pools in the world. And yeah, we're here in early May. We got a couple more weeks before the first big event. So this is crunch time. This is my last week of training here at home. Gonna head to Florida for a training camp week, and then we go to Greece for the first event. Yeah, you know, the early off season is more about, you know, rest and recovery, getting your body ready. Now that we're in the final weeks before the first event, it's all comp prep. So now it's really dialing in the details, making sure you're ready to compete mentally, physically, and honing in all those competition skills for the big production that is going to be the event.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a balance of both. You know, everybody has their own window of how much time they need to rest and recover mentally and physically. Am I 100%? No, probably not. I would have liked a couple more months of off season to get ready. But hey, that's what you got right now. So you got to do what you can with what you got. And this is that time where, you know, it's go time. Get ready and go. And thankfully I have a lot of experience that I can lean into. And mentally I feel fresh and ready to compete. Nice. And the pressure is always there. And yeah, the nerves and the excitement is always going to be a thing. And it's something that I look forward to. You know, nervousness and excitement it's special. It's because you care, and you should want that. But it's also one of those things where I've been diving for 30 years and 15 years of high diving. You know, this is rinse, plug, and repeat. You know, a little bit. And so I'm getting ready. I'm excited. I want the start of the season. And this is, you know, no matter what your endeavor is, you know, you have to go through these phases of plan, prep, execute, review, and refocus. And that's something that you want to master over the years and experience of your craft and get better and better year in and year out. Everybody has their different pre-competition routine. And so, you know, you always walk backwards from absolute event day. You know, a couple warm-up dives on that day. How do I make sure my body and my mind are ready to do those dives? And so that works back 1 week, 1 month, couple months out. And so that's something that you got to timeline out throughout the year and make sure you're checking those boxes as you go, with a little bit of room for improv and, you know, anything that might come up. And so if you want bulletproof confidence, it's have you done everything in your power to make sure you're competent and ready to go? And are you staying within yourself and making yourself the only competitor? Because that's really what it's all about. You know, whether it's cliff diving or business or, you know, family, school, relationships, like you want to be your best self. Can you be better today than you were tomorrow? And so that's where bulletproof confidence comes from.
I've been on the road, I've been doing shows. Now we eating steak, remember sleeping on the floor. We stealing at the gas station when the time was cold. In the kitchen, hot, still trying to flip it out the stove. Rocking fake J's, praying that nobody know. Watch them take my dog away, it was way too hard to stay composed. Fight to see the light of day, all this blood on my clothes. I was tired every day, green light, it's time to go. I don't wanna live life fast or die too young. Die too young. 100 miles per hour, I might crash, cause the good die young. Yeah, the good die young. Push it to the limit, I can't go no more. Red light, no way, I'm coming back home. Long dirt road, all on my own.
What do we call them? Beauty shots, style shots? You can be close to me on this, dude. Like, cool. If you come as comfortable as you are, yeah. You can then follow it all the way down to the water.
Cool.
Yeah. And you can have a hand on the rim. Yeah. You nervous up here?
No, I'm not super nervous.
Can you walk to the edge?
Pretty close.
Pretty close. Can you put your toes on it?
No way.
Yeah?
I can't put my toes on it, bro.
Just like this?
No.
You got it. Come on, one toe. One toe. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Pro move when you get your heels off.
Yeah.
You can stand like that.
That's scary.
Yeah. And the funny, like, Red Bull cliff diving platforms are a quarter of this length. It's literally like this wide.
Yeah.
And there's no handrails.
Oh
so God. Yeah, it's people come up. They always want to see the view from the top. People come up and then they get up there and they're like, "What the?" All right, so same thing. I'm gonna visualize the whole dive. The takeoff that I just did. So I've got that same takeoff, nice and tall. Arms through, extend up, somersault into the twist. 1, 2, 3, square sharp. And then from here is the dive that I'm gonna do now. See it? Drive over the top, in, out, twist, square, laser line, smooth, entry. And then you just put those two together. Yeah. Same thing, judges, water safety.
Up, 2, 3, square. One more time. Line. I was about to follow you right in.
Huh?
I was about to follow you right in.
Yeah, dude, hot tub's the best part of diving practice.
How did and the other question I had was, is the speed part of it? So connecting the 2 dives, I saw you kind of running up.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about like, hey, okay, the next one, like you don't want to take your time in that moment?
In between the 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I mean, in training, you want to replicate it as best you can. So the takeoff goes right into the entry maneuver.
Right.
The speed of high diving is something that's really hard to replicate. Like, you know, from 10 meters, we're hitting the water around like 30 miles an hour. But from 27 meters, we're hitting around 60 miles an hour. Right. So that difference of how fast you're hitting the water and the impact and everything like that, like you can't really replicate until you get up to the high diving platforms. But again, you gotta do what you can with what you got.
Right.
And so here, at this incredible facility, you know, I'm going to try to do everything that I can to replicate those competition environments. I mean, one of the sports psychologists I worked with was like, take visualization and turn it into that mental picture in your head to then be able to execute the best of your ability. And so, yeah, when I'm running through my dives here, you know, I am calming myself down using breath work and focus, relaxation techniques. You're modeling the dive with the physical movements while you're doing the mental imagery in your head. And so when you combine all of that together, it's giving your brain and your body with muscle and mind memory the best available space to then replicate that in when it comes time to perform.
Right.
I think, you know, no matter what your endeavor, like, unexpected things are going to come at you. And so how well you handle that adversity is going to be dependent upon how well you train for that. And so, you know, like if you can control your response to the ever-changing environment, that's the best you're going to be able to perform at the highest level. And so, you know, whether you're giving a presentation in a boardroom and you have technology failures, the screen's not working, you don't have your presentation, or, you know, your boss is acting out, or if and you can control your response, that's the best way that you're going to be able to achieve excellence in everything that you do. Internally and externally as well. You know, like whether it's environmental factors that are causing you to rethink yourself, or it's your own, you know, personal doubts, worries, and fears. And that can come up, especially when you lose sight and lose mindfulness and get out of the present moment. Like that's what you're always trying to do. And so, you know, your automatic emotions don't necessarily have to take over control of you. Like your feelings are your own, and what you choose to do with your thoughts, actions, and behaviors is how you're going to respond to things.
Right.
And that's huge.
Yeah.
You know, especially for like if I'm looking off the edge of a 90-foot cliff, like my sympathetic nervous system hits in. Like fear is a very real thing.
Yeah.
But if I can stay present and I can stay focused and my feelings are my own, my automatic emotions don't have to take control of me, like then I can stay in control and perform to the best of my ability.
Right.
And so, you know, translate that out to anybody, anywhere with whatever you're doing.
Right.
You know, if you go through the proper prep, you will be able to handle anything that's thrown at you.
And it comes from practice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. How do you train? You know, I keep going back to these things, like how you do anything is how you do everything. So you got to do the small stuff well. The little things are the big things. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. Do today what you tomorrow will thank yourself for. You know, what do you need to get done so that you are as prepared as you can be in the future? And stay in the moment. Like that's the biggest thing. You know, fear, doubt, worry, anxiety always happens either in the past with the coulda, woulda, shoulda, or in that uncertain future. Like there's no reason to go there. Like all we have is right now. Do what you can right now, what you can with what you got. And like that's how you're gonna set yourself up for success, no matter what you're doing. Last training week at home, hitting doubles right now. Morning practice, warm up, comp routine, gonna go do some rehab and recovery in between, come back, warm up, another second session, do a couple big dives. Again, rehab, cool down, stretch, focus on mobility and recovery right now. Going into next week, we got a training camp, and then we got the first event of the year. How do you train? Thanks for joining me at the dojo, Mission Viejo United Horse Pool, one of the best in the world. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.
Boom.